Hello, good morning. My name is Larry Scharfenberger, and this is my story. Where I'd like to start my story is at the 2008 Flying Pig. Prior to that, 8 days before, I had just run my best ever marathon in Louisville at the Derby Festival Marathon. And so that morning was just different in Cincinnati. I'm down there. The race was delayed 15 minutes for a house fire. And so it came over to me that I should pray. I'm not sure where it came from, but I sat down on a curb and I started praying for my immediate family, to the rest of the family, to my church family, to my community. And I ended up praying for everybody in the world, and I thought it was really odd to do something like that. And I jumped up from the curb and jumped up and down a few times, felt really good. I said, this is gonna be a great day. And it came to me that, hey, I'm gonna try to do a Boston qualifier today. And I knew what that pace time would be. I used a number of 8 minutes and 10 seconds for my pace, a good number, so I could add, subtract with that, and off I went for the race. So now we're at mile 12. I'm feeling good. I'm thinking, hey, this is a piece of cake. But back at that starting line, when I prayed to the Lord, I said, I want to make this a Boston qualifier today, and I really need your help. And I said, just keep my legs moving today. That's all I'm asking, and I'll deal with all the pain that comes with it. And later I found out that was very difficult. About mile 16, I started feeling the fatigue, and once again, I kind of prayed to the Lord. I said, hey, I promised you I'd keep going no matter how bad this hurt. But my legs were doing well, I was running well, and I kept moving. But mile after mile, that pain just would double. It didn't seem to be in my lower body where I was using those muscles. The pain seemed to be in my upper body. And once again, I asked the Lord, what's with this pain? I know I made that promise, but it was getting very difficult. I wasn't sure I could keep going with that pain level. So probably around mile 18, 19, it was getting pretty horrible, the pain level. And I started thinking about the Lord, and Lord, are you trying to show something to me? The pain and suffering you went through, taking all of our sins to the cross and such. So I was having a moment-by-moment conversation with the Lord, and trying to work through what the Lord was trying to show me. And I kept pressing on. So I got to a point in the race where I felt like I needed something different to eat. It wasn't those gels with energy and such, something else. And just around the corner, I ran into a situation where I saw an individual coming out of their house with a tray with a banana on it. And that individual met me as I came near his sidewalk, and these are the words he said to me: "This is all I have to offer." And I thought that was incredible, and I felt at that moment the Lord does hear what you need and gives you what you need. And with that banana and the potassium, I was on my way. Mile 22 is where that house fire was, and what I didn't know at the time, they'd actually rerouted that and made the race a little bit longer. I had no idea, but when I ran that mile, my time exceeded my 8 minutes and 13 seconds to 8:41, and I had 30 seconds banked up that I had just lost, and I panicked. I wanted to just stop and walk or lay down or whatever, but the Lord put into me just to calm down and think about only the next mile. And I did. I went through that mile dealing with the pain and fatigue. It was pretty massive at the time and horrible feeling. And I ran that mile in exactly 8 minutes and 13 seconds. I was like, hooray, great. And then I felt that pain again. And I thought, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. And once again, the Lord calmed me down and said, just think about the next mile, Larry. And that moved on, concentrating with that. And actually, I ran that next mile in exactly 8 minutes and 13 seconds. Now I'm within a mile and 2/10 of finishing the race, and in that last 2/10, it comes to me how I got to this point in the race. The Lord had been with me the entire time. From praying on the curb at the start line, through all the pain and agony and each step of the way, and I looked up to the sky and just smiled, and I knew that He had my back. He kept my legs moving just like He promised, and I dealt with the pain just like I promised. And I just looked up and thought to myself, I got it from here, and I sprinted into the finish line, and I got my Boston qualifier time that day. It was wonderful, and I even patted myself on the back like I did it when I know the Lord was there behind me, the good Father He is.